It is nearly Christmas time. On the radio, a man with a soft, deep voice is singing, telling us to have ourselves a merry little. Nickeltown windows are filled with Christmas trees. Corner sisters brag about what they're getting, dolls and skates and swing sets. In the backyard, our own swing set is silent, a thin layer of snow covering it. When we are made to stay inside on Sunday afternoons, corner sisters descend upon it, take the swings up high, stick their tongues out at us as we stare from behind our glassed-in screen door. Let them play, for heaven's sakes, my grandmother says when we complain about them tearing it apart. Your hearts are bigger than that. But our hearts aren't bigger than that. Our hearts are tiny and mad. If our hearts were hands, they'd hit. If our hearts were feet, they'd surely kick somebody. The other infinity. We aren't the chosen people our grandmother tells us. Everything we do is a part of God's plan. Every breath you breathe is the gift God is giving you. Everything we own. Daddy gave us the swings, my sister tells her, not God. My grandmother's words come slowly, meaning this lesson is an important one. With the money he earned by working at a job, God gave him a body strong enough to work with. Outside, our swing set is empty finally. Coroner sister's now gone. Hope, Dell, and I are silent. So much we don't yet understand. So much we don't yet believe. But we know this. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday are reserved for God's work. We are put here to do it. And we are expected to do it well. What is promised to us in return is eternity. It's the same, my sister says, or maybe even better than infinity. The empty swing set reminds us of this, that what is bad won't be bad forever, and what is good can sometimes last a long, long time. Even coroner sisters can only bother us for a little while before they get called home for supper. Sometimes no words are needed. Deep winter and the night air is cold, so still it feels like the world goes on forever in the darkness until you look up and the earth stops in a ceiling of stars. My head against my grandfather's arm, a blanket around us as we sit on the front porch swinging. It's wine like a song. You don't need words on a night like this, just the warmth of your grandfather's arm, just the silent promise that the world as we know it will always be here. The letter. The letter comes on a Saturday morning. My sister opens it. My mother's handwriting is easy, my sister says. She doesn't write in script. She writes so we can understand her. And then she reads my mother's letter slowly while Hope and I sit at the kitchen table. Cheese grits near gone, scrambled eggs leaving yellow dots in our bowls. My grandmother's beloved biscuits forgotten. She's coming for us, my sister says, and reads the part where my mother tells her the plan. We're really leaving Greenville, my sister says, and Hope sits up straighter and smiles. But then the smile is gone. How can we have both places? How can we leave all that we've known? Me on Daddy's lap in the early evening, listening to Hope and Dell tell stories about their lives in the small school a mile down the road. I will be 5 one day, and the Nickeltown school is a mystery I'm just about to solve. And what about the fireflies and ditches? And what about the nights when we all climb into our grandparents' bed and they move apart, making room for us in the middle? And maybe that's when my sister reads the part I don't hear. A baby coming. Another one. A brother or sister. Still in her belly, but coming soon. She's coming to get us, my sister says again, looking around our big yellow kitchen, then running her hand over the hardwood table as though she's already gone and trying to remember this. One morning, late winter. Then one morning my grandfather is too sick to walk the half-mile to the bus that takes him to work. He stays in bed for the whole day, waking only to cough, and cough, and cough. I walk slowly around him, fluffing his pillows, pressing cool cloths over his forehead, telling him the stories that come to me again and again. This I can do, find him another place to be when this world is choking him. Tell me a story, he says, and I do. New York baby. When my mother returns, I will no longer be her baby girl. I'm sitting on my grandmother's lap when she tells me this, already so tall my legs dangle far down, the tips of my toes touching the porch mat. My head rests on her shoulder, now where once it came only to her collarbone. She smells the way she always does, of pine sol and cotton, Dixie peach hair grease, and something warm and powdery. I want to know whose baby girl I'll be when my mother's new baby comes, born where the sidewalks sparkle and me just a regular girl. I didn't know how much I loved being everyone's baby girl until now when my life as baby girl is nearly over. Leaving Greenville. My mother arrives in the middle of the night, and sleepily we pile into her arms and hold tight. Her kiss on the top of my head reminds me of all that love, mostly her. It is late winter, but my grandmother keeps the window in our room slightly open so that the cold, fresh air can move over us as we sleep. 2 thick quilts and the 3 of us side by side. This is all we know now. Cold pine breezes, my grandmother's quilts, the heat of the wood-burning stove, the sweet, slow voices of the people around us, red dust wafting, then settling as though it said all it needs to say. My mother tucks us back into our bed, whispering, "We have a home up north now." I'm too sleepy to tell her that Greenville is home, that even in the wintertime the crickets sing us to sleep, and tomorrow morning you'll get to meet your new baby brother. But I am already mostly asleep again, 2 arms wrapped tight around my mama's hand. Roman. His name is as strange as he is, this new baby brother, so pale and quiet and wide-eyed. He sucks his fist, taking in all of us without blinking. Another boy, Hope says. Now it's even Stephen around here. But I don't like the new baby of the family. I want to send it back to wherever babies live before they get here. When I pinch him, a red mark stays behind, and his cry is high and tinny, a sound that hurts my ears. That's what you get, my sister says. His crying is him fighting you back. Then she picks him up, holds him close, tells him softly everything's all right. Everything's always going to be all right until Roman gets quiet. His wide black eyes looking only at Dell as if he believes her.